Just look at you, Tenny, still frying Akara after all these years. The laughter that followed that sentence was loud enough for nearby traders to turn around. Debbie leaned halfway out of the white SUV, designer sunglasses resting on her nose, long, bone-straight hair flowing over her shoulders. Beside her, Amara covered her mouth, laughing too. Tenny stood frozen beside her smoking Akara stand, hot oil crackling beside her. Mud water dripped slowly from her wrapper.
The villagers watching. Debbie shook her head dramatically. My dear, this village has finished you completely. Then the SUV drove off. Dust rose behind them. And Tenny quietly turned back to her frying pan. Because sometimes embarrassment is too heavy for reaction.
Years earlier, things had looked very different. Back then, everybody in Mo knew the three girls. Tenny, Debbie, Amara. They were inseparable. Always laughing, always dreaming, always talking about Lagos, rich husbands, and soft life. Especially Debbie.
That girl loved enjoyment with passion. If one rich man passed by, Debbie's neck would turn like standing fan. I cannot come and suffer, she always said proudly.
Amara wanted a softer version of the same thing. Not flashy, just stable. Office job, good husband, peaceful life. But Tenny was different. Quiet, thoughtful, never in a hurry. While the others talked about marriage and luxury, Tenny usually sat peeling groundnuts quietly, thinking deeply about something nobody else could see. One evening, Debbie burst into laughter suddenly. Tenny, don't tell me you want to marry for love. Amara nearly fell from the bench laughing. Love? In this economy? Even Tenny laughed softly. But she simply said, one step at a time. That answer annoyed them every single time. Because everybody else was panicking about life. Their mates were already posting engagement pictures, relocating to Lagos, shouting, God when, online. Meanwhile, they were still in the village, carrying CVs from office to office like sacrifice. But among all three girls, Tenny's situation became the worst. After NYSC, she searched everywhere for work. Nothing. Interview after interview. Sorry.
Enough of this.
Why are you doing this?
Nobody.
Not enough to leave
ever got
bruises,
back.
just enough to leave silence.
Then tragedy came. Suddenly, her father died. Just like that. Everything scattered overnight. Hospital debt, school fees, food problems, house rent. The small shop her mother managed started collapsing slowly. One evening, her mother said quietly, Tenny, we may have to remove your brother from school first. That sentence broke something inside her because she loved that boy deeply. That night, she cried silently until morning. Then, the next day, she carried one old frying pan outside.
Her mother stared at her. Tenny, I want to start frying Akara. Her mother almost cried. After university? Tenny forced a smile. Mama, people must eat before they dream. And that was how it started. Every morning before sunrise, Tenny sat beside the roadside junction, frying Akara inside smoke and heat. At first, people pitied her. Later, they mocked her.
Because village people can turn suffering into entertainment if it lasts too long. University graduate inside hot oil? What a waste. Tenny would smile politely, but deep inside, shame sat quietly inside her chest.
Meanwhile, life moved fast for Debbie and Amara. Debbie found one older, rich Abuja boyfriend and disappeared immediately from Omo. Suddenly, her Instagram became another country entirely.
Hotels, wine glasses, vacations, soft life captions, big cars, luxury restaurants. Everybody admired her. Amara later got office work in Warri through one connection. Soon, she became career woman. Meanwhile, Tenny remained beside hot oil. 1 year passed, then 3, then 5. Still frying Akara. Still hearing whispers. Maybe village people tied her destiny. Sometimes old classmates drove past and she quickly looked away. Because shame can choke somebody quietly. Then came that December afternoon. Dirty December. The village was full again. Cars everywhere. Music everywhere. That was the day Debbie laughed at her publicly. And after that day, something inside Tenny changed. She stopped expecting kindness from people. She simply worked. Morning till night. Akara, smoke, pain, silence. But life was quietly cracking everybody in different places.
Debbie's own soft life was already collapsing behind social media filters. The rich older boyfriend was married. Everybody discovered eventually. The man's wife exposed everything publicly during Christmas. In front of villagers. In front of everybody. "You thought you were special?" the woman shouted bitterly. "You were just hidden." That sentence destroyed Debbie completely. After that scandal, the man disappeared from her life. Calls stopped. Money stopped. Luxury stopped. But online, she kept pretending. Borrowed bags, old vacation pictures, fake happiness. Meanwhile, debt swallowed her slowly. Amara's own suffering was quieter. Her marriage looked perfect online. Matching pajamas, cute captions, smiling pictures. But inside that house, coldness, insults, loneliness. One night after an argument, her husband pushed her against the wall. Not enough to leave bruises, just enough to leave silence. After that, sleeping pills became her escape. Meanwhile, Tenny kept surviving, quietly. Then one rainy evening, everything changed. She was returning from work when she noticed a small boy curled beside one abandoned kiosk near the gutter. Dirty, shivering, terrified. At first, she walked past, then stopped. Something didn't sit right inside her spirit. She turned back slowly. "What happened to you?" The boy said nothing. But when she asked where his family was, he burst into tears. Heavy tears. The kind children cry when they've been trying too hard to be brave. Slowly, she pieced the story together. The boy had been kidnapped in Abuja over a month earlier. During police pressure,
the kidnappers abandoned him. Since then, he had been wandering, hungry, lost, afraid. People passed him every day without stopping. Tenny looked at him quietly, then held out her hand.
Come. That night, she fed him before feeding herself. And for the first time in years, her small, struggling house felt less empty. His name was Daniel. At first, he barely spoke. Loud sounds frightened him. Nightmares woke him constantly. Sometimes he cried in his sleep. Tenny would sit beside him, gently rubbing his back. "You're safe here." Months passed. Slowly, Daniel started remembering things. Street names, his school, his father's office building. That was when Tenny realized his family might still be searching desperately for him. But transportation to Abuja was expensive. Very expensive. Still, she started saving. Every extra Akara profit entered one hidden container.
No new clothes. No enjoyment. Nothing. Even when her slippers tore completely, she pinned them together instead of buying another pair. Because somebody's child needed to go home. Months later, she finally traveled to Abuja with Daniel. The journey nearly finished her. Stress, fear, confusion. But somehow, they found the estate.
The moment Daniel pointed toward one cream-colored duplex and whispered, "That's my house," Tenny's heart started racing. Before they even reached the gate, a woman screamed from the balcony, "Daniel!" The mother ran downstairs barefoot, crying uncontrollably. The father followed behind her, shaking. Security men shouted. Neighbors gathered. Everybody crying. Everybody screaming. The mother held Daniel tightly, like she feared he might disappear again. Tenny quietly stepped backward. Some reunions are too sacred to interrupt. Then the father turned toward her slowly. Tears filled his eyes. "You found my son." Tenny nodded softly. The man stared at her for a long moment.
Then suddenly bent down and touched her feet. Tenny nearly jumped backward in shock. "Sir, please, you returned my child to me."
You brought my son
His
back
voice broke
alive.
completely. "You brought my son back alive."
That was when she discovered who they truly were. Daniel's father was Chief Adewale Benson, one of the wealthiest businessmen in Abuja. The family had spent months searching for Daniel. Millions on investigations. Police, private security. Nothing worked.
Until one Akara seller from Umwo simply chose kindness. Weeks later, the entire village nearly collapsed from shock because one black SUV entered Umwo, then another, then another. People gathered immediately, children running everywhere. The convoy stopped directly in front of Tenny's roadside Akara stand. And out stepped Chief Benson himself, followed by Daniel. The little boy ran straight into Tenny's arms. "Auntie Tenny!" The villagers froze. Debbie froze. Amara froze.
Everybody watched silently. Then the chief spoke loudly enough for everybody nearby to hear. "This woman saved my son when the world ignored him. Heavy silence. Then he continued. People laughed at her because she sold Akara. He looked around slowly. But while some people were chasing appearance, she kept her humanity. Nobody could look him in the eye, especially Debbie, especially Amara. The chief handed Tenny one brown envelope. Inside was ownership documents.
A fully equipped food processing company in her name. Tenny's hand started shaking immediately. Sir, this is too much. No, the man said softly. It is still not enough. 6 months later, Tenny Foods Limited became one of the fastest growing local food brands in the state. The same villagers who mocked her now stood in line begging for employment. And one afternoon, a white SUV stopped outside her office. Debbie stepped out quietly. No bone straight, no luxury packaging, no fake confidence.
Just tiredness. Real tiredness. She stood there awkwardly, then finally whispered, Tenny, I'm sorry. For a few seconds, silence sat between them. Then Tenny smiled gently. Not proudly, not wickedly, just peacefully. Because life had taught her something powerful. The people who laugh at your struggle today may someday pray for the strength you built inside it. And sometimes, the people life delays the longest are the same
people who
people
laugh
life
at your
is
struggle
preparing
today
to surprise
may someday pray for the
everybody
strength
with.
you built inside it.